Hi guys. This is the last part of the Gonzalo chapter. Um, the first video that covered most of it stopped here on page 20. So we're just going to pick it up where we left off. So on page 20, the about the middle of the page, where Gonzalo is looking for his uncle, for his Tio. Um, 2 blocks down, I spotted it. He's looking for his uncle's hat. I flew down the sidewalk and found him standing in front of a vacant lot, making gestures to a man with a shovel. I took his hand, but he pulled me through the trash and into the lot. I recognized the man with the shovel. He was the janitor at my old school. He had a little garden planted. Different shades of green leaves were coming up in rows. Tio Juan was smiling and trying to tell him something. The man couldn't understand him and finally went back to digging. I turned Tio Juan around and led him home. That night, he told my mother all about it. She was the only one who could understand him. When she got home from work the next day, she asked me to take him back there. I did. He studied the sun, then the soil. He felt it, then smelled it, then actually tasted it. He chose a spot not too far from the sidewalk. Where my mother changed buses, she'd gone into a store and bought him a trowel and 4 packets of seeds. I cleared the trash. He turned the soil. I wished we were farther from the street, and I was praying that none of my friends or girlfriends or enemies saw me. Tio Juan didn't even notice people. He was totally wrapped up in the work. He showed me exactly how far apart the rows should be and how deep. He couldn't read the words on the seed packets, but he knew from the pictures what the seeds were inside. He poured them into his hand and smiled. He seemed to recognize them like old friends. Watching him carefully sprinkling them into the troughs he'd made, I realized that I didn't know anything about growing food and that he knew everything. I stared at his busy fingers, then his eyes. They were focused, not far away or confused. He'd changed from a baby back into a man. Okay, so this is the end of the chapter. There is a quiz on this, and I'll put a link to the quiz in this week's folder right under this video. And of course, you can always access any of the quizzes from the announcements page. Every quiz has an announcement on the day that it's released. And of course, you could also just go into the quizzes and test folder, which is in our control panel on the left side of the page. Okay, see you soon.